Terrific Thursday, everyone. Welcome to another exciting and life transforming edition of Faces of Resilience. This is your host, Furley Almonte. You know, every guest that I bring into this show will give you a lot of tips that is going to transform your lives and in many other areas. This time, we're going to talk about money. And, whether it be pandemic or not, many of us are swimming and drowning in debts and we don't know how to get out of it. We don't understand why we get into the vicious cycle where we never seem to be able to rise above it. Well, today we have two experts who are going to share with us just exactly how you're going to be doing it, how you can basically eliminate your debts, how you can begin to restore your credit, and at the same time protect your future through mentorship and also management and protection. Well, I have to brag about my guest. Well, I've known Charles for many years already, at least 6 to 8 years, I think. We were together in a big leadership training group, and we have remained very good friends since, because you can very well see he has a very, very good heart, and he has an incredible story that would wrench your heart as well. And let me tell you first about Charles. Well, Charles is an entrepreneur, speaker, investor, philanthropist, and wealth coach. He is the CEO of Nguyen Association, and that protects businesses from government, market, and creditors. He also founded American Dreams Incorporated, that provides financial education and college funding mentorship. Well, his philanthropy includes working with Southeast Asia's abandoned HIV orphans, neglected elderly, and repressed women. And with his new partner in this incredible business, I would like to also introduce to you Jason Oswald. I didn't tell you the last name of Charles. Charles Nguyen. I think I said it correctly, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Jason is also a very, Jason, I was reading your bio and I was very inspired and pretty much close to tears because it really touched my heart. What you've been through. The whole idea of these phases of resilience is for people to be able to share their own stories and how it led them to their crusade right now. Well, Jason Oswald was the former manager of the nation's largest collection agencies, representing Bank of America, Chase, Capital One, just to name a few. In 2000 something, a medical catastrophe basically hit his family that changed his life forever, and also he began to see his finances in a whole different way. And I will let him tell you that story, including Charles, because he himself has a great inspirational story as well. Well, he did say that there was one call that changed it all, that led him to open National Debt Consultants, a relief service that specializes in debt elimination and credit improvement. And also, his big mission in life right now is to become is actually he is already a true consumer advocate. Well, gentlemen, hello, Charles and Jason. What a pleasure to have you on my Faces of Resilience. I can't wait for you to share your genius when it comes to finances with my audience and all over the world. Well, Charles, let's start with you. Okay, I know that you have a story that led you to going into a partnership with Jason. Can you please tell that story? Give us a 5 minute version of your journey as to why you are so committed in financial literacy.
Sure. As a financial professional, I thought I know what I'm doing, right? I'm always preparing for the future and look at protecting my wealth as well for myself and my client. But remember back in 2008 when the economic downfall? Right?
Yep, everybody could never forget that.
Yes, everybody, lost the house, including me. I actually lost my business. Actually, I lost my business partner. He died. I lost my business. I lost my house. And at that time, I thought I almost lost my family. And, I have a lot of debt, mortgage debt, credit card debt. I think I have over $80,000 of credit card debt. And there's creditor going after me. I was avoiding phone call, everything. And so I have to search out solution, not only to turn my financial life around, but at the same time, I found out, oh my God, it's is the solution that I can help a lot of people. So when I ran into Jason, I'd done a lot of research on different company, and I found out most of them they overpromise and also under delivery, and most of them kind of rip off and take your money. Uh, and I found out like most of them kind of like went out of business right after the new law passes and stuff. But when I ran into Jason, he was able to help me, get out of debt to finish. I mean, clean up my credit. I remember I had like 500 something score, and now I'm currently have 730 and up.
Wow,
So
there's a
I know
huge difference. Wow.
is resolving debt is one of the critical tool set to help us get into the financial freedom, because the debt is one of the biggest hindrance to getting on saving, retirement plan, taking care of dream, or even making ends meet every day. I mean, every month.
Yeah, actually, you even mentioned to me also that you could not get life insurance because you did not have enough money, and you were rejected because of that as well. And so, it affected your life in so many different ways.
Yes.
Jason, I'd love for you to share your story, starting with phone call that you got in 2000.
Yeah, I remember when I was in debt, and I actually went to see a counselor, actually a financial counselor, and because at that time I didn't have enough income to buy life insurance. They refused to help me. They said that, hey, it's not into the best interest to help me because I don't have the money. And at that time, I thought, I go, if you help me get out of debt, I would first free up my income so I can put into my policy, right? Because I remember like a couple of years ago when I was doing presentation to small group of employees to get them into buy life insurance. And the bigger obstacle, they go, Charles, I love to put $100, $200 away for life insurance for protection and for retirement income and everything. But I'm most of my income is go toward debt and credit card, mortgage, everything. So I don't have any extra. So that's why it's helped me. And that's why I have to seek out solution to resolve this, to get rid of debt, but also freed up income and have good credit, so you can actually pay less and allow more income going toward investing some of the financial product and service that help your future.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We'll come back to and talk about how it would affect our future. But Jason, okay, I know that you got that one phone call in 2000 that
Right.
changed your life. Please tell us the story about what happened to you.
So, Furley, it was a call that I would never wish upon anybody, but I was, like you said, I was the manager at one of the nation's largest collection agencies. I trained literally hundreds of individuals to be cutthroat debt collectors, to be the guys that would harass people and try to squeeze every dime out of them. Well, I got called into my manager's office, and it was from my wife. She's like, "You need to come home now." And usually she's never calls me at work, but she told me that my mom was just diagnosed with lung cancer.
Wow.
So, and she was only given 6 months to live. So we made a decision once I got home that I would take that 6 months off of time to go spend those last months with my mom. And my mom was a fighter, so she did the chemo and everything else like that. But at the end, she didn't make it with that. But during that time, I got to get back in touch with my entrepreneurial side, and there was actually a second call that occurred. So I was racking up credit card debt. I was cashing all my investments, my retirements, my savings, and using that to support my family, the two mortgage payments, the vehicles, everything that we have as adults, the bills that we have. Now, the debt continued to rise, and we started going delinquent because I didn't have an income coming in, taking 6 months off. I was surviving on what funds that we had. But a debt collector had called, and explained my mom's situation, that, look, we just don't have the money right now. And so they asked if there was a life insurance policy on my mom and who was handling the estate. Now, luckily enough, I was a collector at the time, so I knew how to handle that. But that was sort of a wake-up call. That was a slap in the face of reality that I was that guy. I made that call. I asked those questions before. So I was faced with the reality that could I continue doing this? Could I continue being this type of person that didn't care about people and what their financial, what medical hardships that they were dealing with, and only focus on money. So the reality of that and the answer to that question is I couldn't be that person anymore. Now, after my mom had passed, they had to go back to work to obviously to get income back in and try to somehow deal with the $79,000 worth of debt that I had. And I couldn't see a way out of it. And then I got a third call. So there's multiple calls, but a debt settlement company contacted my office trying to negotiate and settle a debt for somebody who's trying to collect on. So the light bulb went off. I'm like, okay, I've got debt. It's delinquent. How can I get myself out of this debt? And so I literally kept that person on the phone for like 20 to 30 minutes, just asking a ton of different questions, which sent me down a path of doing hours of countless research on what debt settlement was. I actually went and worked for somebody else in the debt settlement industry to learn all the ropes. And then come to find out that debt settlement companies are really greedy, and he got greedy with some income I should have made. So I'm like, okay. At that point in 2000, 2001, I just left the collection industry. I was able to settle $79,000 worth of debt for $19,000 from what I learned. I had the income coming in where I could offset my income and leave the collection industry and started the National Debt Consultants, and I've never looked back. Now, since then, I've helped thousands of individuals to escape the trap of being in debt. I've saved millions of dollars off of their debts, helping them do that, whether directly or through one of my programs or services that I provided to them. But that really is the path that I feel in life, is to help the world to eliminate their debts and to transform their financial life. So
is that the National Debt Consultants that you're talking about?
National Debt Consultants was my national debt settlement service that I had. Now I've transitioned to what is now known as the Phoenix Prosperity Network. And so that is a private members association that is dedicated to help individuals transform their finances and their personal life. And debt is only one component of that.
By the way, I love the name because Phoenix is so symbolic. It's about being able to rise above the ashes, right?
Absolutely.
So from your own ashes, you'll be able to create and soar. And that is exactly what you're helping. Well, you actually have proven to yourselves that you were able to actually exemplify that Phoenix, and at the same time helping so many people. Now, tell me, how is Phoenix Prosperity Network different from any other debt, not debt collection, but debt resolution, debt elimination companies out there? How are you different?
But that's a great question, because Phoenix, and you're absolutely right, it is about rising up from your past, rising up from the ashes of your past, because a lot of people are stagnant. They're not moving forward because they're stuck in their mind, they're stuck in their thought. It's like they're in a comfort zone. They're frozen in time with that. So what Phoenix does is that not only do we take a look at the debt, we take a look at what else is going on. And I fully believe in your mindset and the way that you think about things and stuff like that. So we are animate, we are majorly focused on teaching people how to transform their thoughts and what they believe and what they perceive to create the reality that they want. Not only that, but being debt is only one component. That we have the component of credit, that we have the wealth coaching on that, to teach people how to bring more revenue into their life, how to create wealth and how to master that wealth and utilize that. Because when individuals are stuck in debt for so long, it's hard to see the forest for the trees. It's hard to see a reality, a future where they are debt free and they're financially free in that. And so that's ultimately the goal, is to get them to the next level and the next level and the next level of their life and see what they're dealing with. Some people may be dealing with debt issues. Some people may be dealing with credit issues. Some people may be dealing with financial. Well, we want to cover all of that. And we want to be there holding your hands on that journey for when you rise up to your prosperity, to the potential that you have inside of you. And that's really what the Phoenix is. It's rise up and prosper. So
what I love about what you said, okay, first of all, because it's very comprehensive, it's holistic in some way. And you know what you said also, like one of my favorite quotes is by Dr. Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right?
Absolutely.
And then also one thing that you have mentioned about the different components, right? I cannot help but think about, say, for example, somebody wanting to lose weight, right? Okay, so you want to lose weight. You've lost the weight, but then again, if you don't change your lifestyle, you continue to you will circle back into the same process of gaining weight. So
Yes.
basically, what you're doing is that after the debt is eliminated, you teach them how to basically manage and control their finances and manage it well, so that they don't fall into the same trap all over again. Am I correct?
Yeah, because we
Absolutely.
don't want we don't want to treat the symptom, right? We want to go straight to the cause, and then at the same time inspire them and empower them to more a bright future. So I mean that's all we're about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you have a special program called Debt to Wealth. Is that a special program that you have, or is that like your brand?
go ahead, Charles.
Well, that's it's kind of like a title of the journey. You know, I'm really I'm not into really what makes me different from all the other financial professionals because I'm not interested in selling product, right? Because that's not my thing. I'm really interested to serving the community about the journey to financial freedom, and whatever on that journey to financial freedom, you need different tools and resources, and it depends where you are at. And so that's why, like, we structure everything is around, okay, well, where you at with this time? Are you like really drowning in debt in your collection? Or, hey, are you just okay and you want to get your debt paid faster? Or are you in like accelerate mode? Hey, I need to, view my credit and use credit in as a tools to create wealth instead of getting stuck into debt and consumer. So overall, we committed to the journey, right? The journey of coming back, rising back, rebuilding your dream, whatever we call the American dream, and get back on track and see where you're at and get the tools you need to move to your next level.
Why is it that people are forever in debt? What is it that keeps them there?
Actually, let me take that one. And I just want to add to Charles's the journey. Okay. Most people, and this is twofold, most people never get out of debt because they can never see themselves out of debt. It's like having that comfortable blanket or being in that bad relationship that you know you should be out of, but because you're so used to it on a daily basis. And so most people are used to going to work 40, 50, 60 hours, working second, third job to try to maintain their bills and stuff like that. And so they're stuck in all the negative thoughts, feelings, emotions that are associated with being in debt, but they brush it off because again, it's comfortable to them, and they never see outside of that. So they never sit down and think about what life would look like to be debt free, to not have the debt, not to have more time to do what you want, what it would be like to have additional income coming in. What would you want? Where would you go? Who would you travel with? Just different things like that. So they're stuck in the negative mindset. And again, that's part of the journey to get you from point A to point Z. As we have to get rid of that negative thoughts. You have to transform the way that you view things so you can move forward to the next level.
So what would be like, say, for example, three quick, easy tips that you could share that would get people out of that, just getting them out of that funk of feeling that that is the norm?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, right before the tip, let me give you a statistic, right? Most Americans have around 30,000 plus in balance in kind of debt, right? In credit card or something. And if they have, let's say, interest rate of 15%, and if they just pay minimum, do you know that it takes them 20 something plus years to pay that off? And then you ended up paying around $100,000 overall. So like, you're paying at least $60,000 in interest. That is like you paying like almost triple the price of whatever the original thing that you bought in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 3 quick tips. Very simple. First one, you have to get out of the in debt mindset. You have to start thinking what life looks like. So start thinking of visualization. I do believe strongly in the law of attraction. Henry Ford said it the best. Whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right. Debt is no different. If you're focusing on the debt and all the problems and the emotions on that, then you're going to stay in debt. If you believe that you can never get out of debt, or if you have to use a system where it's lacking, like Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman, where they want you to save and penny pinch and putting you into a further debt mindset, you need to shift away from that and start thinking about what a prosperity life looks like, what a debt-free life, a life without debt looks like, and start visualizing that, thinking about it. Second, write that down and then believe that it's going to happen. Don't question how it's going to happen. Don't say, well, I can never get out of debt because I don't have the money, or I don't have the job or the skills to that. So that really is transforming your thoughts. Second, don't be afraid of your debt, creditors, debt collectors. When you get that bill, worst that's going to happen is that you're getting a paper cut from it. If a collector calls, you're protected by the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. You have rights as a consumer, although you may not think you do. You do. So don't be afraid of it and don't run from your debt. So that's just going to escalate, make problems worse. Deal with it head on. So transform your thoughts to being in debt to one that's out of debt and financial prosperity with that. 2, don't be afraid of your debts. Don't be afraid of creditors and debt collectors on that. Second is to don't avoid your debts at all. Third, I highly recommend that you do not talk with creditors or debt collectors until you get the third step, which is get the right information from an expert. Because if you talk with your creditors or a debt collector and you say or do something wrong, that may worsen your situation. You may end up giving away financial information that they didn't have and that they're going to use against you. Now, in the collection industry, there's one statement that they make. This is an attempt to collect a debt. Any information you say will be used against you. So they're pretty much telling you your rights that, hey, anything you tell me, I'm going to take those bullets, put it in my gun, and I'm going to shoot it back at you. Sorry for the comparison on that, but that is the reality of it. So by getting the third tip that I've got here is getting the right information, the right knowledge from an expert that's been in the industry. Now, in my industry, debt relief, credit repair, people are popping up. Hundreds of credit repair companies and debt relief services are popping up daily, almost overnight. So I give one major tip is if you're looking for somebody, a debt expert or a credit repair expert or even a financial coach, that you get somebody that has success in that and they've been in that industry for 10 plus years. Now, I've been in the credit collection and debt relief industry for over 24 years on that. So I do consider myself an expert. But these fly-by-night individuals that make themselves look all big and like they know what they're doing, they're just fly-by-night operators until the next shiny object comes along, they're going to jump ship.
Now, how do you protect people from being ripped off? Like, what are the telltale signs that they should be looking at so that they know that, if say, for example, that they would be charged X amount of dollars, we're going to take care of it, we'll negotiate on your behalf, whatever it may be. I don't know what promises they make, but how do you protect those people from getting ripped off and directed into professionals like you?
To be honest with you, it's just doing due diligence. Do your research. Take a look at the company. Take a look at their web presence. You can find out how long they've been in business by going to the Social Security Secretary of State in their state. See if they have any ratings. See if they have any video testimonials. I don't say go by like written testimonials because a lot of those are fakes. But if they've got clients that they've helped and somebody's done a video testimony or there's a case study that they have, to me that lends to their credibility on that. Also, how long have they been in business? And just pick up the phone and call them and ask them what their fees are. Now, I highly recommend that nobody pays somebody to deal with their debts on their own because you're not in control. And a lot of these companies will charge you several thousands of dollars. Whether they charge you a certain percentage on your total debt load or whether or not they charge you on the savings like my company does, it's still expensive. And that's why I've actually created a system to teach people how to eliminate, how to negotiate and settle their own debts using my 24 years of knowledge and experience. I put it into an easy to follow program on that. So, with an industry expert such as myself, 24 years experience, I'm not here to market anything, but that lends to credibility out there. The fact that
Yes,
I'd
of
helped
course.
thousands of people.
Like you cannot put a price tag on that because it lends to somebody's comfort level in being able to engage somebody's services, because you're giving a lot of personal information that you said could be even used against you. Number two is that you don't want to go into further debt, because now you got somebody who actually charge you money that will not deliver anything, that would actually could possibly aggravate your situation financially. And so that's why, somebody, I would encourage anyone who's listening in right now to reach out to either you or to Jason Oswald or to Charles Nguyen, and then make a consultation. Does it cost anything to consult with you, and to tell us about the cost that is involved in consulting a professional like you?
Right. Absolutely, there's no fee in regards to that. I do want to add to something you said. Absolutely right. Any debt relief professional out there, they're extremely expensive. And I'm going to give you two different scenarios. Let's just say $40,000 worth of debt. Let's say a debt settlement company charges you 25% of how much they represent you on. So that $40,000 worth of debt, you're paying them $10,000 to represent you. That's $10,000 that could go towards reducing your debts, paying off the balances. Now, if they do it on a fee structure based on the results, such as my company did, is that $40,000 worth of debt, we saved you $20,000 off of that. Our fee would be $5,000, 25% of the net savings on that. So $10,000, $5,000, that's still money that you could use towards your debts. And that's the reality. And to be honest with you, there's not much work that goes into debt settlement. And that's why I've actually been attacked by the debt settlement industry. They don't want me exposing this information. They do not want me sharing my knowledge and insight with the world and Americans that are in debt with that. So with that, there's no fee for a consultation. We're just going to talk a little bit about your situation, find out what's going on, and see what is the best fit for you. Now, whether or not we take you on as a member of our association and work with you and deal with your creditors, that's one thing. But we also do have a do-it-yourself program available online as well. And now for that, you asked about the fee. It is $997 for that. There's a lot that goes into it. It's about a $13,000 value. You get a one-on-one financial coaching session with me or Charles with that. And for listeners on this show today, if they want to take a look at this program and if they want to invest into it, then we do have a discounted offer that we would like to extend to everyone.
Oh, that's really very, very generous. So talk to us a little bit more about I know that I was wondering, what does PMA stand for? And I found out it's private membership,
Members
right?
Association. Yep.
Okay, talk to me about what do you do? What do members of your network get as a result of working with you?
So there's no fee to sign up for Phoenix Prosperity Network, the association. What that is, it's just a community of like-minded individuals that want to transform their finances, that want to go from debt to wealth, as Charles, that pathway. And so it's just a group of members that are like-minded, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, individuals like us, our friends, family members, anybody that wants the right knowledge and the right information so we can share that among our association. Now, again, you can get a free membership, or if you invest into any one of our programs, you get access to that for life. But really what it is think of Boy Scouts of America, or the NWACP, or a private country club, a golf course. It's just a community of individuals that are coming together that are like-minded and want to better and improve their life. That's really why we chose the private member association. That way we could share among each other and professionals among private members of our association.
Because I love because basically just from this interview, I already got the full sense that what you do is not all just about restoring debt or anything like that. Basically, I see this as being empowering. I see it as a mindset shift. It's about redesigning your life and the way you see your life and your relationship with money. And I like the fact that there's a lot of I get a sense of spirituality as well in what you do, and that is absolutely phenomenal because having been through what you've been through, both you and Charles, obviously what propelled you to do what you do right now is your own story. And you know what they say, right? Facts tell, stories sell. And we all have our own story. As a matter of fact, when I'd like to circle back a little bit on the life insurance, because I am in a life insurance industry, but I focus now on a very beautiful specialty that I have, which is living benefits. When I read your story, Jason, and when somebody asked you, do they have life insurance policy that they could get the estate from? It made me even more proud of what I do, because the kind of life insurance that I actually provide people with have living benefits. That means you don't have to die to use your life insurance policy. If you got cancer, if you get diagnosed with cancer, you can even access up to 100% now. And if you get, a disability, you can access a monthly payment given to you tax free. So it's like absolutely amazing how many people who have cancer, stroke, or heart attack. 70% of people with severe medical condition end up in bankruptcy or foreclosure. And I'm sure a lot of the people that you see in the debt restoration, debt elimination, and credit restoration, and all that, a lot of them come from that place where their hard-earned money basically burnt down to nothing because they had to pay for the medical catastrophe. And so I like that. With you, I know that actually Charles has already, and I have already explored about the debt elimination, credit restoration, and finance protection. And I love, of course, your finance management, and because it's just a very, very comprehensive way that people will be able to take control of their lives. And that your past, including mine, I've had my own share of woes when it comes to finances. It's not who we are. It does not put a label on us. Where we are going to, what we're going to be creating as from the lessons that we have learned from all of those financial mistakes, catastrophes, basically shape us to who we are right now. Look at you. You are great. You have created, like, you are a true consumer advocate. You are like, how do you describe yourselves? Because
I call Jason the debt Vader, right?
What's that? The
The
debt.
debt Vader. You know how Darth Vader, and he come to the good side. Well, he was in the dark side, now he come to the good side. And I'm kind of like I'm the financial Jedi, right? And we're here to go on with you on this journey to your financial freedom. And go on the journey, you need tools and resources. You need multiple tools and resources. And
Yes.
this, like you say, go hand in hand. It's one of the financial tools that help us, and also other financial professional that can help their client to free up the income, to free up the chain and ball in debt, and allow you to free up that income so you can invest in your future. So you invest in life insurance to protect your family. Can you invest in your retirement plan? And so you invest in your dream, go on vacation, and paying for college, and retire, and do what really matter most, versus working most of the time just to pay off debt.
And that's very, very sad. That's why I love when Jason was saying, like, how do you paint the picture of what your life could be debt free?
Yes.
People with financial freedom, people with time freedom, so you don't have to work 3 jobs, for instance, and being able to have that peace of mind, knowing if anything happens, a medical catastrophe, you know that your family, all the people that you love, are also protected. I'd love to know, how do they get in touch with you to, first of all, be part of the Phoenix Prosperity Network? I love that. I know I'm going to be in there. Yeah, and it's free. What have you got to lose? You're going to get a lot of empowering tips on how to take control of your lives in so many different areas. So be a member of Phoenix Prosperity Network, PMA. And okay, how about those people who are in financial debt right now, and they're looking for a way out? They're suffocating. What do they need to do? How do they get in touch with you?
Okay, so first and foremost, we're doing a soft launch in the Phoenix Prosperity Network. So we're working in the behind the scenes of all that. So right now, have them contact support at welivewithoutdebt.com. They could send me an email.
We live without debt.
Yep, and that's our website for the settlement program. Like I said, we are going to extend out a discount to people. So on that page, if they want the program and if they want to go order it, then we're going to offer them a $500 discount today.
Wow.
So all they have to do is put in save 500 and a promo code, and they're going to get this full system, a $12,000 value. You can take a look at what's included with the system on the website, welivewithoutdebt.com, and so they can get it for $497. So we're doing this because we want to help individuals to escape debt, break free of that debt slavery, so they can start focusing on a financially free future. Because a lot of people can't when they're deep in debt. So you need to get rid of that. And so they get a free coaching session with me. And I do consider myself a debt-free wealth coach. Because once the debt's out of the way, we can start focusing on the wealth in your life and the prosperity.
That is so beautiful. Charles, any last words?
Well, Jason and I have been kind of working on this 6-7 years. Our vision, it worked with a lot of different financial professionals and have us as one of the tools in the pocket so they can help their client to be in financial freedom a lot faster and actually protect themselves, especially with this uncertain time with what we have, the COVID, we have the economy, and we just finished the election. And people always ask me about, well, what do you think will happen with the economy and all this stuff? And I go, you know what? There's always going to be the up and down cycle, right? And we don't have that much control over that. However, we have control over how we manage our finance, how we think, and how we're going to shape our financial destiny. And that's we have control of, and that's what we want to focus on, helping people on that journey.
Funny how I smiled because I remember somebody saying don't worry about the White House, worry about your house.
Oh, absolutely.
So make sure that you take control of your finances, that you plan well, and you plan it with a professional who understand the right ways to be able to guide you. Because there's a lot of information we do not know, obviously, because layman people, we don't know about tax laws, or tax-free vehicles that you can put your money, where your money could even grow faster, and how you can also find ways to eliminate your debt in a way that you don't feel so stressed and you won't get ripped off. So this is very legit. Of course, you're talking about professionals with over 24 years of actually more than 24 years of combined experience between the two of you, because even Charles has gotten very involved in financial literacy, college funding, and all that. So it's very, very comprehensive. So whether you are a young family, you have a young kid, or you're actually somebody who is out of job right now and really trying to navigate your way out of your big monumental debts, reach out to Jason Oswald and Charles Nguyen at support at welivewithoutdebt.com. Okay, and make sure that you also basically take advantage of the $500 off gift that they're giving us, so that we can be blessed with with some kind of comfort, that knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So thank you so very much, Jason and Charles, for blessing our audience with the tips that you have shared. It's so comforting to know that we don't have to hide from the creditors anymore. That when you face your fears and you face them, and then be able to have the right knowledge and the right support behind you to be able to actually live a life free of worry and be able to have full control. That is absolutely phenomenal. I thank you both so very much for your time and your wisdom and your genius. Until next time, this is Furley Almonte from Faces of Resilience. Okay, remember, stop hiding now. Go out there and conquer and take control of your finances. Take care. Bye-bye.